The leaves from the trees are turning brown. It is time for fall fragrances. Let me show you my rotation for the best fall fragrances. Yes, the gourmand fragrances gotta wait for a while until it's winter, so now it is finally time to bring these mysterious woody fragrances out of your closet and wear them like a boss. My first pick for the upcoming fall gotta be Black Orchid by Tom Ford. This is the EDT version, which is a mysterious, woodier, more masculine take on the popular eau de parfum. And this fragrance has notes of plum, patchouli. Patchouli is very heavy in this fragrance. Obviously it has orchid in there. So it's a beautiful mix of floral, but also very deep and mysterious notes like amber and patchouli. It is earthy. It is also fruity in some kind of way because of the plum, but it makes it very seductive, very sexy, and really nice to wear for the upcoming fall months. It is pretty long lasting, so don't overspray with this fragrance because this is some kind of fragrance that has to be discovered on your skin. This is not a fragrance that you should announce. Be a little bit careful, guys. I don't like to say it. Overspraying is okay, but with this one, be cautious with it. Imagine yourself wearing a dark coat, beautiful pants, beautiful leather loafers, wearing this fragrance. It is raining outside. You're walking in a dark forest. This fragrance suits that aesthetic perfectly. So if you're that type of guy, this is the one for you. Now let's go to the next one. And if you want to stand out and smell absolutely mysterious, then go with Orto Parisi Terroni. Now this is definitely, without a doubt, the most dark fragrance and longest lasting fragrance I have in my collection. This is incredibly nuclear, just as all the other Orto Parisi fragrances. You know how they are, ultra niche fragrance type of things. We don't really talk about that here. But this is very artistic, I can tell you that. I don't wear it that often, as you can see. I've had this bottle for a while already and it's still quite full. I've only worn it like a couple times with a really dark outfit, but only with 2 sprays. I think if you spray this in a subtle way, you can pull it off, but it's definitely a hard scent to like because it's so dark and mysterious. And to me, this smells like burnt woods, rotten raspberries. While in the notes, it has obviously incense, it has raspberry, but don't let the notes throw you off because when you look at the notes, it might seem like some kind of mass appealing fragrance, but this is incredibly dark. It is very mysterious, like I said. The bottle looks mysterious, but it is so interesting to have in your collection. I always love to sniff the cap. However, it's just too dark for my taste. I don't really see an occasion or a good outfit to pull this off myself. But if you like dark fragrances, if you like these woody, mysterious type of fragrances, then this is a must-have in your collection because you are gonna like it for sure. Now let's go to the third one, and this is a fragrance that I absolutely love to wear. It is Gisada Ambassador Intense. Now this is a much better alternative to Dior Sauvage Elixir. They smell similar in some kind of way. It is very heavy on cinnamon, licorice, some fruity notes, but the fruity notes take over this time. While the fruity notes are not really prominent in Dior Sauvage Elixir, they are pretty prominent in here. The most prominent fruity note that I get is personally raspberry, which gives it a very playful touch. Yet it is still very mysterious and still very sexy and as well incredibly long lasting. This just doesn't come off my clothes. However, you gotta be a fan of licorice because the licorice in here is so incredibly powerful. Some people say it smells too much like licorice. Some people say it smells like candy, but such a must have in your collection. I actually like this one a lot better than the regular Gisada Ambassador, which is a bit too synthetic. Like the mango accord that's used in there is not really well done in my opinion. They did a far better blend with the Intense version, so definitely go with this if you consider getting one of those. Now let me show you another hidden gem that is absolutely amazing. This is Amouage Memoir. Amouage Memoir is so incredibly deep and sexy, and it is so incredibly hard to tell what the notes are. However, there are a couple notes that are coming on top of me. For me, I get a lot of basil. It reminds me of a darker version of Essential Parfums Bois Imperial. However, they don't share a lot of similarities, but the basil in there gives it this similarity to Bois Imperial. Besides that, you get some mint in the opening, which gives it some fresh take. You have absinthe in the base, which gives it this boozy take. This fragrance just evolves so much on your skin. However, it got reformulated a lot, so the performance is not what you expect from a fragrance like Amouage. This is pretty underwhelming for me, so that's why I don't wear it a lot. But besides that, for a special occasion, this is an amazing fragrance. It is my second Amouage fragrance that I have in my collection. I do want a lot more. However, they're pretty expensive, as you know already. So is this worth the full price tag nowadays? No, not anymore. If you still can get an old batch, then go for it for sure. The old batches are pretty strong, I've heard, and then in my opinion, it is definitely worth the price tag. The bottle looks pretty badass as well. I always say like this is a fragrance that kind of brings me back to these Harry Potter Hogwarts vibes. So basil, mint, absinthe. There's some incense in there, but it's not like an offensive incense accord. I can tell you many other Amouage fragrances where the incense is a lot stronger. It's kind of toned down in this one, I would say. But Memoir is for sure an interesting fragrance to have in your collection. If you like the fragrance from Amouage and you want something that is a little bit more mass appealing and easy to pull off, then I would say Amouage Memoir is one of them. Now, I have so many fall fragrances that I absolutely love to wear, but I wanted to save the best one for the last. It is not the strongest, but if you want to smell like a king, go with the Tragedy of Lord George by Penhaligon. This is such an interesting fragrance. This just literally, when I spray this on my skin, I smell like a king. When I dress up like a king, I'm wearing a nice suit, great loafers, expensive stuff, this just finishes my outfit. However, it is so incredibly weak. I don't know why they made it this weak. If they made it at least last 2 hours longer, it would have been a 10 out of 10 for me. But everything is just so well done in this fragrance. Look at the bottle. It's a masterpiece to have in your collection. The scent itself, it's quite safe, but yet very unique at the same time. It got notes of rum, tonka bean, has soapy notes. It's not like a fresh fragrance. It is pretty mysterious and deep because of the tonka bean and the rum. So it does have this boozy vibe. If you don't like boozy fragrances, then skip this one for sure because it's quite offensive. But man, if you're into these mysterious fragrances, this is a must-have in your collection. The atomizer just works. Everything except for the longevity works about this fragrance. It is so good. I got a lot of compliments with it. So for special occasions, if you're going to a restaurant and you don't want to smell too offensive, it's not really nice to smell offensive when you're having dinner with friends or family or with a date, for example, go with this one. It is underwhelming, but you will smell absolutely amazing with this masterpiece. Yes, that is going to be it for today, guys. I do have a lot more fall fragrances that I want to show you, but I want to save that for the next part. So if you like this video, make sure to drop a like, of course. And if I'm new on your feed, then make sure to subscribe for the best fragrance content. I'll see you on the next one.